What's going on, guys? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do my initial reactions to the final game of the 2019 season for the Dallas Cowboys as they defeat the Washington Redskins 47-16. And unfortunately, we will not be going to the playoffs. The Eagles have clinched that final spot thanks to their victory over the Giants. So, congratulations to the Eagles. We'll see what happens with them. But look, man, I don't even think this team would have gone far in the playoffs to begin with. So I think that this was probably for the better. The Cowboys finish off strong at 8-8. I don't know what their draft position is currently. We're gonna see once everything kind of falls into place, and then we'll start planning for that. But the first order of business is let's talk about this game and then a bit about the season, because I'm gonna dedicate a video specifically talking about the entirety of the season and how I feel about it from the coaches, players, etc. So with this game, Dak Prescott had I'd have to say a fantastic performance. 4 touchdowns, 303 yards, 23 of 33. Great performance. Now he finished 1 yard behind Tony Romo for most yards thrown by a Cowboys quarterback. That doesn't matter because we only went 8-8, but it's just a fact nonetheless. Dak Prescott throws for 30 touchdowns. I did say that in one of my bold predictions that that Dak Prescott would throw 30 touchdowns. So that's when I got right, but unfortunately didn't translate into wins. In terms of the running game, looked solid. Zeke had a solid day. 18 attempts, 122 yards, and a touchdown. He looked really good. He finally had his longest touchdown of the season. And it's just too little too late. Tony Pollard, 14 for 60. Dak had a pretty good run that really set the tone more or less for the entire game. Amari had a little bit of an end around that got him 6. In terms of the receiving game, Michael Gallup, he had a hat-trick day, 3 touchdowns and 98 yards on 5 receptions. Amari Cooper went 4 for 92. He had a huge play on a free play from for the Cowboys, and that was pretty good. Randall Cobb, 5 for 81. And then, you have a bit of it trickling down from there. So, overall, the Cowboys on offense did exactly what they should have been doing, especially last week. And, all I'm going to say is that, it's sad because this game is another part of of the microcosm of this season, is that they do well when the expectations aren't there, but when they need to win a game, they haven't been able to. And again, we'll talk about that more in depth when we get to the full season recap. And I did mention I wanted to wait until the conclusion of the entire season before I do any more videos, just so I can collect myself. But with that being said, looking at the defense, Jeff Heath led the way in tackles. Kerry Hyder got a sack. Robert Quinn got a sack. DeMarcus Lawrence left early, unfortunately, so he wasn't able to really finish out the game, which was sad. Because I would hope that he everyone can play. In terms of turnovers, Jalen Smith got an interception, and what's his face? Xavier Woods got a fumble recovery. So the Cowboys were able to get 2 turnovers in this game and stop Washington in several parts of the game. But overall, I think that this game is just a great example of a too little too late situation. You could have definitely done this versus Philadelphia. I don't know why you needed to do that. And it's just like, hey, listen, man. You are with what your record says you are. And the Cowboys are an average team, unfortunately. And that says a lot about the coaching staff, the players, the lack of accountability, all the stuff that we usually say from not only me, but other Cowboys content creators. Now, what exactly is the plan moving forward? Now, Jason Garrett will not be fired, but I do expect him to not get a contract extension. That's the first thing, Listen, you had all this talent, and you can't even make it to the playoffs in a pretty subpar division. Come on, man. But with that being said, we look at what's going on. Before I go any further, this is a public service announcement from me, and I wholeheartedly mean this. If Jason Garrett is to come back, if he comes back as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not going to do any more videos because I'm not going to subject myself into trying to analyze what the Cowboys can do to do better when I've been saying the same thing over and over again. Now, I don't expect him to come back. If he does, I'm done. I'm not going to do any more videos, and I mean that because I'm not going to, I'm not going to try and do something when I already know what the outcome is going to be. Okay? So, we look at what's going on. Cowboys finish 8-8. I think that this is a fitting way to end the Jason Garrett era as it started 8-8. If you technically 5-3, if you want to include his 2010 season as interim. But yeah, man. I mean, and we'll do a full, once I do the recap of the 2019 season, we'll talk about the Jason Garrett era and like what can we learn from our previous mistakes to see how we can do better than that, assuming that we do move on. Now, hopefully, I believe Jason Garrett's contract expires 2 days at the after the conclusion of the Cowboys' final game. So, I don't know the validity of that. If someone can inform me on that, that'd be great. But I do believe that I do believe the Cowboys are done with Garrett. I think that now after we get our head coach, then we have questions to answer regarding the quarterback and the receiver. I think that this game, Dak passed my eye test. I don't know what the coach thinks. If the coach doesn't want him, okay. But I think that Dak's your guy at this point. I think that he's definitely showed what he can do. And I think that this is just a testament to how we're not playing to try and, attack the weaknesses of NFL teams. Rather, we're just trying to do whatever. And the fact is that this season reminds me a lot of the 2012 and the 2008 season, more notably the 2008 season with all that talent, and you go 9-7, but this time you go 8. This is probably a more disappointing season, to be honest with you. But with that being said, though, let's just listen. I'm not gonna sit here and trash anybody on a personal level, like in terms of Garrett, the players, or anybody, because they're people too. I'm not gonna do that. But the fact of the matter is Jason Garrett, in terms of a coach, couldn't get the job done, and I think that yeah, he's definitely done. So we'll see what happens, guys. If you did enjoy this quick little initial reaction, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Hopefully Garrett doesn't come back. If he does, I'm not doing any more videos while he's here. Plain and simple. So we'll see what happens, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see what happens. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.